Welcome to Whose Line Is It Anyway, which is an improvisation program, as you'll discover if you don't improvise yourself too quickly with the off knob on your television set. What I'll be doing is I'll be giving the contestants here a variety of things to do to get them to think on the spot, to perform off the cuff, or otherwise go completely around the bend. And to make sure it's nice and spontaneous, or at least scruffy, I'll be involving the studio audience here who'll be yelling out suggestions and ideas for the contestants to play. The audience themselves have been specially selected for their good looks, their intelligence, and their susceptibility to flattery. Now, the contestants, now the first contestant comes from America. America has given us some great performers over the years. I'm thinking of Frank Sinatra, Marilyn Monroe, Champion the Wonder Horse. But tonight it's given us Archie Hahn. Oh yes, you may have seen Archie in Spinal Tap, or even Mork and Mindy, The Sunshine Boys. Less likely you'd have seen him in Fatal Attraction, because he wasn't in it. Next we have Josie Lawrence, who... she'll need no introduction to anybody who's met her before, which will include people who've seen her in the Comedy Store Players, the famous troupe of improvisers, who have also lent us our next contestant, who is Paul Merton. He's sometimes an improviser, sometimes a stand-up comedian, but always a dead misery. And finally, we have John Sessions. What can I say about... What can I say about John? Actor, academic, and regular all-round nice guy. Well, those are just a few of his ambitions, but... As you know, those are the contestants. Let's get on with the game. The first game is a simple one called Authors. So if I could ask the contestants to come down into the performing position. That's it. Yes, you look very good there. Now, as I say, it's a simple game, Authors, in which each of the contestants has come along with the name of an author in mind, and in a moment I'm going to get the title of a story from somebody in the studio audience. Then I'll start off with Archie, and he'll begin to tell that story in the style of his author. And then when I buzz, we'll go on to Josie, and she'll continue the story, but in the style of her author, and so on round the contestants until the story is told, or until it's time for the next game. So the first thing I'll do is I'll find out which author you've come along with. Archie, who is your author?
Stephen King.
Stephen King. Let's get off to a nice, frightening start. Josie?
Louisa M. Alcott. For those who don't know her, she wrote Little Women, Little Men, and Little Wives.
Yes. Yes, and little else. And Paul?
The person who writes the Janet and John books.
Yeah. And what did they write?
They wrote Little Men.
Yeah. Little characters. And John, who have you come along with?
Charles Dickens.
Charles Dickens. Huh. Right. Okay, well, a title for a story. Can we have something, you know, like The Day They Invented Champagne, or Who's Afraid of Virginia Wade, something like that? Just a title for a story. Anybody will do.
Through the Garden Gate.
Through the Garden Gate. Excellent. Thank you, sir. Now, we'll starting off then, Archie, with you, in the style of Stephen King, Through the Garden Gate.
Through the garden gates he came, again that summer. Until this point, he'd had no bouts with the dizziness. He remembered only vaguely the smell of burning rubber. Yes, that was all behind him. As he got to the cottage door, he thought to himself,
I wonder if the ladies are at home. He rang the bell, and out gaily tripped Joanne. Joanne said, "Come in, and I'll fix you a meal." As they went into the living room, all the girls were sitting round, gaily embroidering different things onto different pieces of material. "Hi," they said. "Are you still getting those dizzy spells?" "Well, we'll have to do something."
We'll have to do something about that, said Jack. John. Yes, said Jill. June. See the dizzy spell, said John. Yes, said Jill. The dizzy spell. I would like a dizzy spell too. So he hit her across the head with a lump of lead piping. Said Jack.
Stop it.
A piping which no less peremptorily placed itself next to Mr. Naggs and Mr. Noggs, indeed Mr. Niggs, who all so quickly, in but a moment, brought forth the quill and the lemon peel and scraped it even so as the long lines in the faces, rivulets in the delta even of their physiognomies, looked down upon Mr. Pigs, Mr. Pags, and indeed Mr. Piggywicks, who came up the garden path, through the dizzy spell, across the hills, and into the trees, where they met Ernest Hemingway.
Thank you. End of game. All right. That's very good. I have to award points for these games, and I've awarded 10 points each to Josie, Paul, and John, and I think 20 to Archie, because I think he did mention going through a garden wall at one point, which is more than everybody else did. Now, the next round is bizarrely called Different Games, for the simple reason that in it they play different games. I don't know why. The first game we get them to play is Paul and Archie. I'm going to get an everyday activity from somebody in the audience, and Paul is going to improvise that everyday activity, while Archie will provide the sound effects for that everyday activity. So, has anyone got an everyday activity?
Getting dressed.
Hang on, getting dressed.
Feeding the cat.
Feeding the cat.
Having a bath.
And having a bath. With the cat and feeding at the same time. Oh, I don't know, I think let's go with... yes, getting dressed. That sounds the most everyday of those, I'd say. So you got that? Sort of getting up in the morning, getting dressed, that kind of stuff, Paul? Mm-hmm. With sound effects from Archie, right.
I think I'll put the radio on. My trousers.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you, very good. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Yes, I thought that was very good. I give 40 points to Archie there and 40 to Paul, with a bonus of 5, because he did get one item of clothing on, which is what he was required to do. Now, a slightly different game for Josie and John to play. What we're going to do is to get a household object from the studio audience, and the name of one, rather than actually have one given to us. And we'll start off with Josie, and she will sing a song, make up a song on the spot about that household object in a musical style, which will also be provided by the studio audience. Then we'll switch to John. He'll sing about the same object, but in a different musical style as provided by the studio audience again. So first things first, let's have an object, an everyday... Sorry? Ajax. We can't advertise. Not with me working for Vim. What was it? What was who was that other one?
Telephone.
A loo bowl?
Telephone.
So we're hoping for an English object rather than... I'm sorry. No, sorry. It was telephone. Yes, I'm sorry. No, all right. We only want one object. A telephone is fine, yes. So Josie's going to start singing about that. But what sort of musical style could you do? So like... Hang on. So flamenco. That sounds a good one. No, it doesn't sound a good one. So Sondheim. Is that sort of more of a particular
Sondheim?
Sondheim, yes, you know what that means. Can't stand it myself, but there you are.
On my own in my home, nowhere to roam, just me and my telephone. What am I gonna do? When will Harry come and see me and marry me? Harry, marry me. Can you hear me sing, Harry? I just want you to ring, Harry. Oh, my telephone's lonely. No one will phone me. Oh, Harry, marry me. Can you hear me? I'm a believer. So just pick up your receiver.
Very good. Excellent. Excellent. Wow. Oh, that's about the best bit of Sondheim I've heard for a long while. Now, another musical style for John to sing. Reggae, that's all right. There's no, you can do reggae, can't you? Of course you can. So, John, still about a telephone.
Oh, still about the telephone.
Yeah. And reggae. Yes. It's like reggae.
Oh, he has it.
With a beep, 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 and a bop, 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 I'm gonna knock on a telephone and I'm on it with you, baby. With a beep, 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 I'm gonna knock, I'm gonna go on the telephone, but not bloody British Telecom, mama, in the morning, mama. Gonna dial, 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 make you smile, 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 in the morning, mama, dip, 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 baba, dial, 9999999, on the speaking clock. Don't wanna hear you talk, yeah, on the block, I got you gonna beep, bop, bop, da, ding, dong, dong. Round the clock doesn't have to write any lyrics, cause it goes up and down and all over the place, it doesn't matter anyway, who gives a toss?
Yes, thank you very much, John. All right. Very good. Very good one, especially that last one from John, because it mentioned telephones such a lot, which I particularly like. Now, I think I'll give 25 points to Josie and John on that one. I don't know why I'm laughing. Next round, just getting hysterical. The next round is called The World's Worst, which is rather appropriate, I think, for the stage we've got in the evening. It's a free-form game, this. And what the people have to imagine, now what's my note I've got them to do? Oh yes, the idea is that ITN are looking for a new newscaster or new newsreader, and they've got to pretend to be the worst people auditioning for that task. So if you'd like to come forward and stand on that little step and just step forward as you think of them, and I'll just buzz when I've had enough of you, which is a nice, quick, snappy thing. The more you do, the more points you get, the quicker we get going. So whoever's got one, go ahead.
A bookie.
No, hang on. Wait a minute. Some of us are getting a little carried away in the audience now. Every other round requires you to yell things out, and you haven't said a word. And now, just at the moment when we were building up to something very special, I think, from Archie, weren't we? Because the Americans take this sort of long drawl to get going, and... Oh, Archie, you've got one.
Yes, I'm here to interview for the role of the newscaster. Is it... Am I in the right... excuse me.
Und nun die Nachrichten! England, Czechoslovakia, Sturm und Drang!
This afternoon, a school bus. Sorry. This afternoon, a bus full of school children. A bus full of school children careened off the road. 37 children were...
Any more?
What do you mean you don't think I'd be very good at the job?
Die, underworld, die. Look, things happen. Begin phone time.
Now give the others a chance, Paul, please.
This is
Yes, well... Yes, that's quite enough of those. And while I work out the points for that, we'll switch now to people trying different ways of selling you things. We'll be back after the break. Bye. Well, yes. Well, welcome back. I decided to give 10 points all round for that last game. And the next game is called Props. A very simple game. I'm going to give a prop to each of 2 sets of pairs. Josie and Archie, can you be one pair for us? And John and Paul the other. And I'm going to give an item to you. First of all, Josie and Archie, can you have that item? And you've got to think of as many different ways of using that as possible. You can go over there with it. And I'll give this other item to John and Paul. It's kind of a quick fire round, this. We go for one quick use of it from Josie and Archie, and then switch over to John and Paul, and back again. As many uses as we can get out of it. It won't take too long each time. A lot of points at stake on this round, so I want a lot of effort, please. Josie and Archie, are you ready with your first thing? And go.
You're going to stick this where?
Not just kids like gumdrops, adults too.
I've come to complain about these contact lenses.
You're going to stick this where?
Down, periscope.
I believe it's a major contribution to road safety.
Now, Josie, hop on. I'll take you up to the sunrise.
Hang on.
The baby Jesus saw the sun moving through the sky. Through the sky, the baby Jesus saw the sun moving.
Do you want some myrrh?
I don't want none of your myrrh. I want frankincense, so we'll go.
I've got bath cubes.
Tonight, live on television, Archie is going to interview the world's thinnest man.
Oh, hi there, Archie.
I move, I stop, I turn, and...
And I catch.
One more each.
Mom, we've got to cut the cord soon. This is going on far too long.
End. Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, yes, massive. Thank you very much. Yes, they were so good. They'll give 100 points to everybody there. So good there. Now, Party Quirks. This is a game which really matches Paul Merton against everybody else. He's going to be playing the host of a party. Now, the others are going to be the guests at a party, but they are each going to be allocated a quirk, a strange quirk of behaviour. And we've done this by getting the members of the studio audience to suggest a few quirkish ways of behaving. The best 3 have been selected and been allocated via these envelopes to the various participants. Now, if they can all, you can all, once you've got your quirk, line up ready to come in. I've got a different bell for this one. The budget's gone mad on this one. And so, Paul, you come down. You're just improvising being at a party. And when I ring the bell, you've got 2 minutes as they come in and to work out who they are. A lot of points going for you on this one, Paul. You could win by using this. It's extraordinary.
I realise the gravity of the situation.
Yes, yeah. You're mad then. OK, so we'll start with the first guest coming in.
I think I heard a knock at the door. Hello, you're tall, aren't you?
Paul, I'm on a step. Now, would you like me to come in? Would you
Yes,
like
do
me to-
come in, please. You're the
Are you
first
sure
guest.
you want me to? Because it's up to you. It's what you want. It's your life.
Do you want me to be honest?
Yes.
Well, come in, come in. There's some twiglets there.
Twiglets,
I've
now-
got bits of cheese stuck on a stick, bits of sausage stuck on a
And do you
stick.
feel happy about this party, Paul? Do you feel happy in yourself?
I do feel happy within myself about this party.
Good.
So far...
Oh, sorry, wrong
excuse
bell.
me, there's somebody at the microwave.
Answer the door.
I'll get the door. Not today, thank you. So I've got some over here. I've got some sausages. Just kidding. It's Bob, isn't it?
Nice moon, isn't it?
Yes. You've come to sell me double glazing, haven't you?
You're close. You're very close
Have
on
you
that
met the agony aunt over here?
Oh, brilliant. So, yeah. Great one there.
I must be going now, Paul.
All right, cheerio.
Josie, you've been guessed. Double glazing salesman is so close to this one, but there's another one coming in. So...
Is that the way you're going to do it?
That's the way I was planning of doing it, yes. Those guinea pigs are my pets!
You see,
I know what you are, but I just like watching you do it. Wait a minute.
You better...
They say that if you drink this out of a silver chalice, you will never die. A wolf man, obviously.
Well, a werewolf, yes,
A
I'll
werewolf.
give you that, yes.
A werewolf.
I think that what you're doing... Well, let me put it this way. Do
you want to go upstairs?
You see, you're avoiding everything that you could confront. Now, if, just as a matter of interest, you decided to go and get a drink.
Yes, I decided to get a drink, yes. Well, I could, yes.
I mean, what's that?
You don't play ice hockey for a living, do you?
You've got about 30 seconds to get this.
30 seconds.
You're making the whole direction of what you're doing not part of you, but part of them. And what I want to see is you in there driving that little something, because you've got it. And just...
You're a driving instructor. I know what you are.
Yes?
But let's not talk about you. You're one of the finest theatre directors we have.
That's right.
Brilliant. Oh, dear. Well, I don't know. Very, very good, Paul. You deserve a full 100 points for getting all those, but I'll give you 10 because you teased us so much, and I'll give 10 each to everybody else. So that's a nice even round there. So just totting up the points there, I see that Archie just wins it then. So well done, Archie Hahn. The prize for winning the contest is to get to read out the credits in a way of my choosing, and I'd like you to do it in the way of an American sports commentator. Right, before we get to that, I'd just like to thank everybody who's taken part. That's to say Archie Hahn, Josie Lawrence, Paul Merton, John Sessions, and Richard Vrance. And so that's all from me. This is me, Clive Anderson, saying good night. Good night.
It's a pretty nice day today. Start Clive Anderson, John Sessions, Archie Hahn, Paul Merton. Title music by Philip. Okay, fine. All right, the game will be starting with floor manager Janet Stewart, who was injured last year from a groin injury. And coming up is production by Wanda. Okay, fine. Production assistant Helen Gartell, who, all right, fine. And wearing number 72, designer Pip Gardner. Director Paul O'Dell will be left guard. Executive producer, oh boy, fine. Well, we seem to have run out of players today. What with the rain and the snow and the sleet and the ice. It's rather skittish out there in the field. Why am I still on camera, you ask? I don't know. Bye-bye.